What is up, guys? It's Andy here. Welcome back to Painfully Honest Advice. So in this video, I am going to share with you guys the stocks that pay me out the most money in dividends in all 11 sectors. Plus, I'm going to go ahead and open up the blinds and share with you guys how much I make on a monthly basis in dividends. And if you're new to investing, I'll share with you guys why I focus on dividend investing and how I'm building that as another source of passive income. Now, if you are new to my channel, my name is Andy. I make videos around business, personal finance, and investing. So if you like any of those topics, make sure to subscribe to the channel down below. And if you don't mind just hitting that like button while you're down there, as it really does help grow this channel. So let's go ahead and jump right into the video. So why I chose dividend investing is because as a strategy to build another source of passive income, dividend investing is one of the safest ways to build passive income and basically be making more money while you're going to sleep. And when you wake up the next day, you'll have more money in your bank account. Now, with dividend investing, all these stocks that I have in my portfolio do pay out a dividend. Basically, as these stocks grow, I am making money on their growth, but along the way, I am taking a part of their earnings and basically getting paid to be investing in these companies. Now, I like investing in the stock market because it's another way to diversify your income. Plus, by investing in companies that are well established or that have a safe dividend, it's another way to kind of grow your income and be making more money while you're sleeping. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into my portfolio at this point and jump on my laptop and share with you guys the stocks that are paying me out the most money in each sector and how much I'm making on a monthly basis just in dividends. So let's go ahead and jump in. Now here is my stock portfolio. It is called my bucket list portfolio. Basically, I'm looking to hold this portfolio for the long term. Now I do have a full amount invested of $14,580 currently in this portfolio. And if we just scroll down on this portfolio, I've broken it up into 11 different sectors. Now, just to run through these portfolios, I'm going to share my stock that is going to be paying me out the most money in each sector. And just to go to the first sector here, it is going to be in the financials. And within the financial sector, the stock that's actually paying me the most money is Main Street Capital Corporation. Now, with Main Street Capital Corporation, they do pay a dividend of 9.14%. But let's go ahead and jump into Seeking Alpha just to find out a little bit more information about this. Then I'll share with you guys how much I'm making on this. So with Main Street Capital, if I just look at their dividend growth, they have been consistently growing for the last 4 years, and they've been consistently paying out a dividend and growing their dividend for that long. Now, additionally, Main Street Capital does have a safety score of 62, and basically any stock that's above a 60 is considered safe. So that is a safe dividend stock to invest in for the long term. Now, I have created a spreadsheet, guys, that basically tracks all the stocks that I currently have, and it tracks how much in dividends I'll be making on each stock. And I have actually broken that spreadsheet down into the different sectors. So I'll be running through the spreadsheet because this is how I'm basically tracking my dividends. And in the financial sector, the stock that's actually paying me the most money is Main. So with Main, if I just scroll over on the spreadsheet, you can tell right here the annual dividends I am making is $24.69. Now, the nice thing with this company as well is that they do pay out a dividend on a monthly basis. All right, but next, let's go ahead and jump into the next sector, which is going to be the technology sector. Now, just in the technology sector, I do have a couple stocks, but the stock that's actually paying me the most money in the technology sector is Apple. Now, with Apple, they do pay out a dividend yield of 1.06%. And if I just pull up Apple here, Apple has been consistently growing their dividend, and they actually started paying their dividend 7 years ago. Now, personally, with Apple, they are a very strong company, and their dividend growth over the last 5 years is over 10%. That's awesome to see. And additionally, with Apple, they do have a safety score of 99, meaning they are an extremely safe dividend stock to invest in. Now, personally, in my portfolio, if I just scroll down to technology, Apple is currently paying me a dividend of $14.90 annually. All right, and next, let's go ahead and jump into the energy sector. Now, in the energy sector, I do have two stocks that I currently invest in, but the stock that actually pays me out a solid dividend on a monthly basis is going to be ExxonMobil. Now, with ExxonMobil, they do pay out a solid dividend of 7.54%. And ExxonMobil is actually considered a dividend aristocrat. Basically, what that means is that that they've been paying out a dividend consistently for the last 25 years and has been growing their dividend since then. Now, ExxonMobil does have a borderline safety score at 55. That means that they are borderline safe. So long term, they could cut their dividends down the road, but it's highly unlikely. Now in energy, ExxonMobil is actually paying me a dividend of $16.22. So that is the stock that's paying me the most dividends in the energy sector. All right, and moving right along here, the next sector that we're going to get into is going to be a recession-proof sector, and it is going to be in the utility sector. Now, in the utility sector, I do have a bunch of different stocks because I like to diversify myself within the utilities, meaning gas, water, electric. But in the utility sector, the stock that I make the most money in on an annual basis in dividends, and that's paying me the most in dividends, is going to be Dominion Energy. Now, Dominion Energy does pay out a dividend of 4.8%. Now, with Dominion Energy, they have been consistently paying their dividend and has been consistently growing their dividends for the last 16 years. Plus, their dividend safety score is a 75, meaning that their dividend is not going anywhere anytime soon and it is considered safe. Additionally, if we just look at what I'm getting from Dominion Energy in regards to my total dividends, Dominion Energy is paying me $12.32 in annual dividends. Okay, now moving along to another recession-proof sector, it is going to be consumer staples. Now, within the consumer staples sector, I do like a bunch of different stocks there, but the stock that's actually paying me out the most money is going to be Coke. Now, Coke is one of those companies that is recession-proof, plus they do have a solid dividend. Their dividend is 3.56%, and this company does have a very strong brand, and their finances are very solid. Now, Coke is considered a dividend king. Basically, what that means is that they've been paying out dividends for the last 50 years and has been growing their dividends since then. Now, additionally, if we look at my portfolio, Coke is paying me $10.40 annually. Plus, Coke does have a solid safety score, and their dividend safety score is an 80. So their dividend is not going to be going anywhere anytime soon. All right, and moving along to the next sector, it is going to be industrials. Now, in the industrial sector, the company that's actually paying me out a solid dividend is 3M. Now, 3M is currently paying a dividend yield of 3.96%. And if we just look at their growth, 3M is another solid dividend company that's been paying out a dividend for the last 61 years. Now, 3M is another dividend stock that's considered very safe, and their dividend safety score is a 75. So I actually do not see their dividend going anywhere anytime soon as well. And if we just look, 3M is paying me $6.05 in annual dividends. And just jumping into the next sector here, the next sector is going to be communications. Now, within the communications sector, there is a bunch of different stocks that I personally like, but the stock that's actually paying me out the most in dividends is going to be AT&T. Now, AT&T is one of the largest providers for wireless communications in the US, and their dividend yield is 6.98%. Plus, AT&T has been growing their dividends for the last 35 years, so they are considered another dividend aristocrat. Additionally, AT&T's safety score is a 65. That means that their dividends should not be going anywhere anytime soon. And if we just look at my portfolio, AT&T is actually paying me $31 in dividends on an annual basis. So I do personally like this sector, and I do like AT&T overall. But now just jumping into the next sector, it is going to be materials. Now, materials is another one of those sectors that I do believe is a bit more recession proof, because with materials, those are things that are going to be used no matter what. With materials, the company that's actually paying me out a solid dividend, and it is a very safe company as well, is Air Products and Chemicals. Now, APD is the ticker symbol for this company, and their dividend yield is 2.30%. Basically, they are one of the largest providers when it comes to industrial gases. APD does have a high dividend safety score as well. The dividend safety score is 95, meaning that their dividend is going to be going nowhere anytime soon. Additionally, APD does have a solid dividend growth, and they are considered a dividend aristocrat. Basically, they've been paying solid dividends for 37 years and has been growing their dividends since then. So that's awesome. Additionally, APD is currently paying me $6.22 in my dividends portfolio. All right, now just jumping into the next sector, it is going to be going into the consumer discretionary sector. Now, in consumer discretionary, these are going to be all household names that we're probably familiar with, but in consumer discretionary, I do have investments in McDonald's, in Home Depot, Starbucks, Nike is one of them, but the company that's actually paying me out the most in dividends is gonna be Home Depot. Now, Home Depot does pay a dividend yield of 2.56%, plus Home Depot has been consistently growing their dividends, and their current dividend growth is 11 years. Basically, they've been growing their dividends for the last 11 years. Additionally, Home Depot's growth rate for the last 5 years is very high. So that does make it very attractive, and they've been growing consistently at 23.68% over the last 5 years. Now, this is another very safe stock. Home Depot's safety score is actually 87. And in my portfolio, Home Depot is actually paying me $6.74 in annual dividends. Okay, and now just jumping into the next sector is gonna be real estate. Now, real estate personally is actually one of my favorite sectors. And for a dividend investor, real estate actually pays out some of the best dividends. But personally, in the real estate sector, the company that I personally really like is Realty Income Corporation. And this is the company that's paying me the most in dividends. And if we look at their dividend yield is 5.10%. So this company does pay out a solid dividend. Additionally, one of the nice things with investing in real estate investment trust or REITs is that they have to pay out 90% of their earnings. And with Realty Income Corporation, they do have some solid growth, and they're considered a dividend aristocrat. So they've been paying out their dividends for the last 26 years. And if we just look at their 5-year growth, their 5-year growth is 4.38%. Now, this stock is also considered very safe, and their dividend safety score is a 70. And if we just look at my portfolio, Realty Income is actually paying me some of the best dividends out of any of the stocks that I currently have. And in annual dividends, I'm making $81.23 just in this one stock. Okay, and finally, just jumping into the final sector, which is going to be the healthcare sector. Now, in the healthcare sector, the stock that I personally really like is Johnson & Johnson. Their dividend is actually 2.72%. So they do pay out a decent dividend. But if we just look into Johnson & Johnson, they are a very safe dividend stock, and they're considered a dividend king, meaning that they've been paying out a dividend for over 50 years. Plus, Johnson & Johnson is considered very safe. Their dividend safety score is a 95, meaning that their dividends are going to be extremely safe. Now, if we go back to my portfolio and look at how much Johnson & Johnson's paying me, Johnson & Johnson, I'm making $13.49 in dividends. And finally, guys, if we look at my total annual dividends are $538.34. So these are going to be all the stocks that pay me out the most in dividends in my portfolio in each sector. Now, I personally love dividend investing because it's another way to grow passive income. But that is going to do it for this video, guys. If you are new to my channel, make sure to subscribe to the channel down below. And if you don't mind lightly hitting that like button, as it really does help get this video in front of more people. But thank you guys. Thank you for supporting the channel. Love you guys, and I will see you guys at the next one.